All right, welcome to our first ever team call for Level Up Babes, which I'm pumped for. I
Okay.
was trying to think on names, and I was like, I just really like Level Up because I think that's true of life. I think that's true of every area in our life for the rest of our lives, regardless of Beachbody. Like, isn't that? Don't we want to be getting better? Don't we want
Yes.
to just be stagnant? So we are here as a tribe, obviously for each other, but we're also here to help each other level. So I'm excited to do that with you girls. And while we get things going, Ed is going to share details of the Success Club trip because everybody wants to know, how do you earn the trip? When do you get invited? Like, how long do you have to be hitting Success Club? All of that. So we're going to just
I am still unsure on the when you're getting invited because most of us, like I only started the end of last year, so we all got the opt-in list in January, but the actual invitation, I'm looking at all of you guys on your posts, and I'm looking at other coaches out there going, this is what I have, and looking at what it looks like, and I'm like, I haven't gotten one and it's April, so I better get one by the time April, but that part is what, I don't know, maybe you can fill in on that, but I've gone back over and over and as I'm going to read it. But in that, all of you guys should have kept it, archived it, downloaded it. So it's nice to have it. It was in that opt-in list. But number one, the very big, most important pointing out thing is it is a Success Club trip. So if you aren't hitting Success Club, you can't go.
right.
So that is just a fact right out the door. It's what they encourage for. They're rewarding you for hitting Success Club. 5 or 10 have different reward systems. And so trust me, you want to be hitting 10 because then you start earning things like Joy shared with us last year where they gave her cash over and above of paying for her trip. And would you get $1,000? $1,200?
Oh, I don't remember what the amount was, but I do remember like we had a credit to use at the spa and things like that.
Yep. But I thought last year you earned like $1,000, and they said it doesn't matter how much you end up using, but they'll give you up to $1,200 cash.
Yeah.
That they'll pay you right before that you earned over and above. That they'll turn those Success Club points that you did into cash directly into your account, which is amazing. But what's cool is they break it down into quarters. So January through April. So I believe that depending on where we hit in Success Club through April, in my opinion, I think that's when I'll get my invitation for is at the end of this month or the beginning of next. That's what I'm guessing. Would you say that, Joy?
Say that one more time because you cut out.
Would you say that I'd probably get our invitation by the end of this month or the first of next month because it's the first quarter. So I guess that's what I'm guessing.
I don't actually know.
I don't either. And I looked and I couldn't find when I would get the invitation.
Why don't you go Team Rockstar Fit and ask Team Rockstar?
And ask when and if by, because I think that's the only thing I was sweating. But they gave markers of how many Success Club points you have to earn in each of the different monthly quarters, their time that they had in there. And let's see, I had it here. So you have to have 10 Success Club points between January 1st and March 31st. And you have to have 15 Success Clubs points between January 1st and June 30th. And you have to have 20 Success Club points between January 1st and September 30th. And to make sure that you still qualify. But if you think about it, guys, that's 3 people a month you're going to be hitting it. 3 people. So, and what it does is each counts for trip dollars, as they say, which is really cool. So when you hit Success Club 5, each Success Club point only counts for 1 trip dollar. But then they said that when you hit Success Club 5 or 10, then it starts doubling it. So if say you hit Success Club, it's going to be 6, right? Basically. So 6 success SC points, since I'm stuttering, is $60. And I realized, I'm like, wait. And then in the month of April, they doubled. They doubled, I believe. So, And then, so they broke it down. It's a total cost of your trip is $1,200 because they broke that down into $300 for every 4 months of payments, and every Success Club point you get and the trip dollars, they deduct it from that. So if you're meeting your mark, you're at the end of each quarter, as soon as they send that out, you have to pay right then if you want to continue to be on there, right? And because that's kind of what I've read.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want mine to be 0. So I've been watching my Success Club points, and I'm like, I have to hit at least this if I want that trip and for that to be at 0. And I'm like, I'm making money. So that's where I'm at. But everybody pays that $300 deposit.
Yes. For sure.
And that's just so that you can reserve the resort. So to me, that totally makes sense. So if you're going to cop out and not show up, they have to have their butts covered, which I'm grateful for.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
But $300 for a trip, for real,
I know.
I'm willing. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. If you could maybe share like a link to the FAQ or wherever you found that in our team page, that might be helpful.
That was actually all, I couldn't find that. That was in the opt-in email that they sent me that I archived.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind sharing that. So I can take pictures of that email and I can put them all up so that everybody can see and know. So, did anybody else save their emails? No?
Probably not. I'm terrible with email. Real quick, Summit. If people are doing the Summit, we need to start getting like numbers because I did reserve an Airbnb. So people are going to start putting down their deposit. And I think everyone that's on here has already said if they're going or not. But just want everyone to know, like, they're invited. You should come. It's huge for your business, and we have a place for you. And if we can't fit you, but I mean, I plan on like stuffing this little place full of all of us. We'll help you find a spot because there's other people like we can post and be like, hey, do you have room type thing. Everyone just like stuffs in 2 places just to make it cheaper. So.
I was just going to ask how much you were thinking that was going to cost.
Well, I had a list of 5 girls that were going to go, so it was all going to be $200 a person for the whole time, for Wednesday night through Sunday. But if you get more people, it'll be less, you know, like it just depends on how many people go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what? Melissa had a hotel room booked and everything, and she said for the whole trip it would have been like $1,500, $1,600. So it's pretty amazing considering what people are paying. And there's like nothing left anymore for all the thousands and thousands of people that are booked, even on towns out. So.
Yep. It's definitely cheaper doing an Airbnb, and then we'll get some groceries. Alicia's got a car, so she's gonna drive down. We'll probably use her car to get like some groceries and stuff, so we can pack lunches. That saves some money too. Things like that. Anything else anybody wants to go over? I didn't have like any huge plans for tonight since it was our first one. I think a bunch of the newer coaches are hopping on at 7:30 for the new coach orientation call because I decided to start having them watch a GSR before getting on the new coach orientation call so that I can have basically a regular new coach call for them to just get on and ask questions. And I want them to already know the basics so that we can spend the time answering questions and like getting to know them and things like that. So I think I'm going to have a couple of girls on that. If you have new coaches, definitely put them in there, but I'm having them all watch that GSR first. So it's in the event page, the GSR is. So if you just
So would you want my coach, my 2 coaches on that haven't they haven't done an RTB and they're still in the beginning of their first 30-day challenges? It's okay for them to be on tonight or not?
What do you mean?
I'm like confused of that's where I've been confused, like of when to put my girls on the call.
Oh, so here's what I'm telling my new coaches. Like, you can, because I was doing it where they had to do a GSR first, right? So I was like, get on the 7:30 GSR first. But now they're going to watch a GSR first. I'm like, I have a new coach call at 7:30 just to help new coaches with questions. But if they want to, they can totally hop on the 7 call too. Like, I don't care. But I'm just gearing the 7:30 call specifically towards brand new questions, you know, like stuff that you guys already have heard a million times. Because now I'm having them watch the GSR first. There's no reason why I should be doing a new GSR every week when it's the same info. Yeah. And if you guys ever want to help out with those or hop on with me, you totally can and get like a feel for it. But I also made a video that I uploaded to the team files the other night about how I'm starting new coaches. If you need my welcome email that I'm sending them, just tell me, give me your email, I'll send it to you. I got to figure out how to take it and make it into like a file and upload it. But I hate that kind of stuff.
My coach was asking me today, okay, and she showed me your email. She says, so do I answer that for her or should I answer that for you? And I just sat there and I'm like, you can go ahead and answer it for her. And I said, but I'm already talking to you and I know the answers because we're sitting there and I'm working with you. And I said, sorry.
Did you get the email too that I sent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I copy you, is so that if they want to, they can just send the answers to you.
See, and that's what I told her. I said, you don't have to send them both. You can send them to me. I said, that's her way of covering just in case her coaches aren't doing it, to make sure that everybody's informed and is on top of it. And I said, see, that's great for me right now because I'm still trying to figure out my documents. But on the upside with me is even if I don't have all my documents in place, I'm very personable. So I'm right on contacting them and I immediately do things on a Zoom, but I don't want to. I want to simplify it with a document, just like you do. Yep. So I'm still in that. How did I get here? I don't know sometimes.
Does anybody have any questions that they want help with or things they want help with this week while we're on here? I had something I was going to totally share. I was going to go live in the team page, and then I was like, no, I'll talk about it on the team call. And now that we're on here, I'm like, I don't remember what it was. Should have written it down. I'll think of it and go live later. But if nobody has any questions.
I ended up watching a YouTube video today that I thought was pretty good. And I'm still sitting there trying to kind of revamp a lot of what I'm doing, not just in organizing, but kind of, like you said, set up shop in a more efficient, cleaner way. And, you know, we're talking about the different things. Shay's talking to me about her, you know, presets and everybody doing that. I want to take care of that with pictures, looking in for tips, simpler, even with my stories and my writing. And then I thought 3 big things that this girl shared, and I can't remember her name, but she says, remember when people get on Instagram or Facebook, but especially Instagram, they want to be either educated, inspired, or entertained. And when we remember those 3 things, to remember to engage in one of those 3 things at all times, and that we can connect with people and draw them in easier. And I just stopped because that's what I'm trying to do, is draw in along with my following. And I finally found an app that works like Captivate, but it's for an Android. So anybody else have an Android, or everybody has their great iPhone?
Did you hear that girl who did like the training video the other day where she was like, if you are working this business, you should have an iPhone? Did you hear her say that? I was like, yeah. I've never heard a coach say that before. I was like, really? Okay, that's kind of random. But hey, did you go to the National Wake Up Call today?
Excellent. So good. So good.
Such good tips. I was going to remind you guys, like, if you didn't hear that, to get on, because she dropped some really awesome bombs about stuff and helping her community and her coaches and being so disciplined with her time. You know what's
I'm gonna do her thing in the morning though. I think I'm gonna work in the morning before my kids even go to school and then be done. So it's just following up with answering people's thing. But I'm like, duh, that's.
Yeah, Peter and I have talked about doing that because he read somewhere, I think it's like a Darren Hardy thing, where obviously like you're more productive between the hours of like 5 and 8. Those are like your most productive hours. And so he's like, technically you should get up and do a 90-minute session is what he calls it. It's not a power hour, but it's like a 90-minute productivity session. So I've been like, well, why don't we do that and then work out? Like, I'd rather work out with the kids around than work with the kids around. Like, but anyways, there's this other coach too that spoke at Super Saturday, and she's pregnant with number 3, and she still gets up every day at 4:15 to make sure that she gets her work done before the kids are up. So, and she's done it through all 3 of her pregnancies. This is her 3rd pregnancy. But she went from having to work full time to, in her 2nd year, making $127,000. And now she's in her next year, and she goes, in the first 2 months of this year, I already made more than I did last year. So I'm like, well, damn, like, okay, I guess it's worth getting up at 4:15. When you're pregnant, oh, that's miserable.
I love that they talked so much about third-party apps and how essential they are to our business, and that we need to pay more attention to them. This one was called the, I guess, what is it? It's the Instagram Plus for me. Okay. So it works. And so I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to fix that all up tonight, and I'll let you know. So if I have coaches, I want to test it out before I say, yeah, go do this and screw up your phone. I'll do it first.
Awesome. Anybody else? Alicia, you look like you're painting. Are you painting?
I am. The little kids are gone, so I painted their whole bedroom this weekend. Finished today. It was pink and green, and Titus was like, I do not like pink, Mom.
Oh, I
and so finally do you like it? That's the chair rail goes here.
I like it. So, I like it a lot. Good job. That's a lot of work.
I am so thankful to be done because their room is a disaster.
Totally. Guys, I just shared the page and the team page where we're doing our new sneak peek. We're going to do a sneak peek this week on Thursday and Friday. Just know if you're inviting to that, we're going to be pretty hardcore. We're going to be like laying it out there and being like, you need to expect to have $100 monthly investment. Like, you should expect to not make 6 figures your first year. You should expect to be working more than you're making. Like, we're going to be very honest about the work it takes in this business, not just like rainbows and butterflies. Obviously, we'll share the great stuff too, but people should know, right? And I feel like if they come into it knowing, they're ready to work because they already know it takes work. So just know if you're inviting to that, don't invite like maybe discount coaches. Because like that's not what I would send a discount coach if they're like, what? But if there's someone you're actually talking to about the business, perfect. Like, yeah, let them come in. We're going to try it this way and see how it goes, because why not? Don't forget to be going Emerald again. Everybody should be going Emerald. Oh, and you guys all saw the prizes I'm offering this month. Come on. Freaking sweet. I'm ordering the shirts this week off Etsy, and I'm so excited. Yeah, Chanel's like, I'm getting a shirt. Yeah, you will. And the cool thing is, if you've never hit Success Club, you can qualify for tier 1 and one of the other tiers. I was sitting there going, should I offer that to all of them to qualify for multiple tiers? And I was like, I can't afford that. I was like, I can't do that. So anyways.
So I'm working hard to, I'm okay walking and stepping away from my business at SE12 to make sure I get Tim to Diamond right away. Okay. So that is what I'm working on right now. I'm putting the heat under. I'm working after this call a lot more during the night, and then I'm pushing to work early in the morning the next 2 nights before I leave out of town, and then I'll work at night on Thursday and early in the morning on Friday. So I'm like, I know I'm going out of town, so I'm scheduling exactly how I can fit it in and doing things, but I'm really pumped, but it's doable. It's doable when I listen to everybody and how they go, and I'm like, I have built for so long. I've run hard enough. I have momentum. I can do this. I can do it. But when I was at Super Saturday and they were saying, oh yeah, you only get to walk across stage if you're 1 star and above. And I'm like, well, Diamond's not good enough anyway, so
yeah.
Dang it, I don't want to go there and just say, hey, there's my name on the board. I want to walk across and go, yeah, I'm with her. I'm totally going. So that's how I feel.
They give you a flag that has 1 and a star. Yeah. So you want it for sure.
I even told my daughter, I said, in everybody's pictures, you see the lanyard with all the things that you are down, you know? And I'm like, well, I haven't been in here very long, but dang it, mine's going to have lots of stuff on it.
Yeah, for sure. The sweat.
Tim's like, are you a little bit full of yourself? I'm like, no, I'm just going to be hardworking.
So this week, I'm doing an invite to our Coach Sneak Peek every day in my stories. You hear podcasters do it every single time. Why would I not do it every day? I'm finding a different way to do it, but it's going to be every day with some way for them to respond. And then I can go through and invite people. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing for the Coach Sneak Peek. If you're focused on wanting coaches, I would recommend doing the same. Because what you talk about is what you attract. So find a way to do that. And then next week we'll have our first Emerald call. That's so we can help all of your coaches go Emerald. So we got to get everybody on the call. And it's not going to be a working Zoom where we're like, go invite people. It's more going to be like, this is what Emerald is. This is why you want it. This is how you're going to do it. Now tell me your 2 names of your people you're signing up. Pretty much. And then like go do it in the next 24 hours. And we're going to have a graphic of like, okay, we're ready to start putting names down of people who are hitting this. And then we'll start shouting people out as they do it over the next 24 hours. So is what I think we should do. Because it's not that hard. People have 2 family members they can sign up. So yeah. Shay's like, yes. Shay, you've been quiet. What do you have to say? I can't hear you. Here.
Okay, sorry. I don't know how to work it on my phone. That's why I'm so quiet. First I was driving, so I had to be somewhat of a safe driver. But I will say, I know I told you and Jen this on a Voxer message, but I this week have really been focusing personally on what we were talking about at Super Saturday about creating that avatar who essentially is going to be you, but actually laying it out and actually writing a list of who this girl is that you want on your team. And who is she? Where does she like to shop? What kind of foods does she like to have? Is she a working mom, a stay-at-home mom? And actually write it all out so that every time you do make a post, you can think to yourself and like give her a name. And so then that way, every time you make a post, you can think to yourself, like, does this girl, whatever her name is she going to be interested in this post? Is this going to fuel her? Is it going to light a fire under her? And really focus on that. And so that's been my focus this week. And then I was also telling Jen that I bought those filters, and then I also purchased like the $2.99 a month for what is it? Story something?
Story art.
Story art? I was thinking cut story. Oh my gosh. It took, like, I hated Canva. It would take me forever to make a graphic. Now that I purchased the story art, and then I purchased the filters, I feel like my stories already look so much more like professional and they pop more than before. They just looked kind of boring. So I'm just focusing on kind of revamping everything, but it really kind of hit home of thinking about who I actually wanted to talk to and who I wanted to actually be on my team and speak to her, because I was just putting it out there for anyone to grasp. And that was kind of my thing of like, hey, I'm doing this thing and it's really fun. You should do it too, whoever is watching. And instead it was like really honing on that audience.
I've heard someone describe it as it's like you have a dog whistle that nobody can hear except the person you want to hear.
Yeah.
They're the only one that can hear it, which means you don't base it on how many likes you're getting, right? I watched my coach for 2 years and never liked her stuff, ever. And I was secretly watching. And that reminds me too, the way you show up is who you're going to attract. So like Jen commented to me a few months back, like, you always have makeup on. And I'm like, that's because I decided I had a certain person I wanted to attract and I wanted to show up a certain way in my business. So I get up and I get ready to go to work because I want this to be $1 million business. And I'm not going to show up to a building as the CEO of $1 million business in my workout clothes, like out of the shower. I'm just not like, so I'm going to show up based on who I want to talk to. Not that I don't have days of not wearing makeup, of course, which is why I still do posts that are makeup free. But for the most part, I'm like, I show up how I want to attract. That also comes down to your energy too, how you show up on camera, and how you talk and the expressions on your face. And are you bubbly or what? Like all of that attracts the person that you're going to work with. So if you want to attract that person, show up as that person.
I love how on Saturday she was talking about, hey, like, if you feel good and you look good that day, put a couple shirts on, grab a couple coffee cups, take a few pictures around the house, have them stashed for the days that you don't feel great. And you can just do that. But then I noticed, like, I changed my hair so much that I was like, people will be like, wait, isn't your hair pink right now? Because that picture that you just posted of you drinking coffee, your hair wasn't.
That's fine. I was going to post a picture today with my blue hair from a year ago.
Were you?
Oh yeah, I don't care. Like people know I had blue hair and like people reuse photos. Like that's not anything new nowadays. I feel like it used to be that your feed was supposed to be like real time. It's not that way anymore. That's more your stories now, just like she said. But yeah, I do that on days where like I feel nice or we're dressed up or we're out somewhere. I'll be like, Peter, just snap a couple of pictures. I don't need anything, but I want to have them just in case. Like I'm just always like, just take a couple extras. So
that's what I was doing to my kids yesterday. I'm like, come outside. I know it's cold and snowing, but you're taking pictures of me on the porch.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to end this call. See if any of the new coaches are getting on, but have an awesome week, you guys. Don't forget to get into that group for the sneak peek. And make sure you're in our university page too, if you're not. Our new
are you going to take a boomerang or a photo or something?
Hey,
it's our first call. You can't not take a boomerang.
I can't not.
And send it to me because I'm on my phone.
Yeah, you have to send it to me too because whenever it's posted, I can't share it for some reason.
Okay. You guys ready?
What are we doing?
Level up? Or is
it
loser?
You have to do it with your...
Just kidding. I don't know. Well, yeah, we can make fun of ourselves. We don't want to
I can do it.
I think we should do dance moves where we're more standing up going, oh, yeah. But not bad like that.
Q-tip. Throw it away.
Yeah, that's how it is. But I'm holding my phone too. So.
All right, well, somebody pick something. Let's just do it. Shay, what do you think? High five?
High five.
Emily would like to stick your tongue out. I'm all for a high five. I mean, I always like a wave too because I'm lame, but I just think it's cute.
All right, high five.
Get your tongue back
Okay.
in.
Get ready. 1.
Wait, I have to put my keys down. Okay.
1,
What's with the mouth?
2, 3.
Do you like the paint on my hand?
Yeah, mine is too like moving. Here, people are like, what? All right, we're gonna do it one more time.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Jen is like literally 5 fingers.
I look scary. I'm like this. That's terrible.
Okay, it's all good.